Now, let's circle back to that little twist I mentioned earlier. Here's the thing. Ricky's wedding isn't just about him finding love. It's also about the way fans are connecting with him all over again. For years, he was part of our lives through the screen. Then he stepped back, lived more privately, and we didn't hear from him as much. But now, with just a few photos, he's reconnected with the people who grew up watching him. And that's powerful. It shows that no matter how much time passes, some bonds don't fade. They just wait for the right moment to be rekindled. So, let me ask you this. Were you as surprised as I was to see Ricky Schroder sharing his wedding on Instagram? Do you love when celebrities let us into their real lives like this, or do you think some things should stay private? I'd love to hear your thoughts because everyone sees this differently. Some people love the openness, while others prefer a bit of mystery. What about you? And if this story made you smile, you should definitely check out some of our other videos on where your favorite child stars are now. The transformations, the journeys, the unexpected paths, they're all fascinating, and I promise you'll find yourself saying, "Wow, I had no idea." Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button if this video gave you a little boost of joy. Subscribe if you want more updates and stories just like this one, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because, honestly, you never know which surprise is around the corner. And who knows? Tomorrow we might uncover another story that makes you smile just as much as Ricky's wedding did today. So here's to love, happiness, and celebrating life's best moments, no matter how big or small. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. The comments section on his post lit up within minutes. People were writing things like, "You deserve all the happiness in the world," and, "So happy to see you smile again, Ricky." And honestly, doesn't it feel good when you see someone who's been through a lot finally find happiness? It's almost like we all get to share in that joy for a moment. Here's something really interesting though. You know how life sometimes takes you on this roller coaster ride, ups, downs, twists, turns, and then, out of nowhere, something just clicks. That's the vibe we're getting from Ricky right now. After years of living in the public eye, after everything that comes with being a child star, after the personal struggles and the quiet moments away from Hollywood, this wedding feels like a full circle moment. Like he's finally landed in a place where he can just be happy. And who doesn't want that? Now, here's a little tip I want to share with you, especially if you love following celebrity stories. Pay attention to what stars share on their own social media. Why? Because that's where the real, authentic stuff usually is. Think about it. Tabloids can spin a story, interviews can be scripted, but when someone chooses to share something themselves, straight from their phone to their fans, it often carries a different weight. Ricky didn't go for an exclusive magazine cover or a TV special. He didn't need all that. He just opened up Instagram, posted those photos, and let the moment speak for itself. That right there tells us this wasn't about publicity. This was about joy. And experts in media have said this again and again, when celebrities share personal milestones directly with fans, it builds a stronger bond. It's like they're saying, "Hey, I trust you enough to let you in on this." It feels more personal, more real. And that's probably why Ricky's wedding pictures hit people so deeply. They weren't just photos. They were a message. A message that he's happy, that he's in love, and that he wanted to bring his fans along for the celebration. And honestly, don't we all crave a bit of that authenticity? We're so used to seeing perfect, polished, filtered versions of life online that when someone shares something real, it stands out. Ricky's wedding photos stood out because they felt honest. They weren't about showing off. They were about sharing love. And in today's world, that's something worth celebrating. So, what does all this mean for us? Well, it's a reminder that happiness doesn't have to look like a blockbuster movie or a million-dollar wedding. Sometimes happiness is about keeping things simple, about focusing on what really matters, like love, family, and genuine connection. And if Ricky Schroder, after all these years in the spotlight, can find that kind of joy and share it with us, then maybe it's a reminder that we can find it too, in our own way. Guess what? Former child star Ricky Schroder just got married. Yep, you heard that right. And not only that, he actually shared his wedding pictures on Instagram. Can you believe that? Doesn't it feel like just yesterday we were watching him as that adorable kid in silver spoons? It's wild how fast time goes. One minute he's the little boy lighting up our screens, and the next, he's all grown up, tying the knot, and letting us all peek into one of the happiest days of his life. Time really has a way of sneaking up on us, doesn't it? Now, I know what you're thinking. Ricky Schroder? Married? Posting pictures on Instagram? That's not exactly something we've seen a lot from him in recent years. He's been a bit more private about his personal life, so this came as a sweet surprise for many fans. And today, we're going to break it all down together. We're going to talk about the wedding itself, the photos he shared, the way people reacted, and why this moment feels so special. Not just for Ricky, but for all of us who grew up watching him. And trust me, there's a little twist I'll share toward the end, so stick around because you definitely don't want to miss it. So, let's start from the beginning. Ricky Schroder, the boy we all knew and loved on TV, grew up right in front of our eyes. That's not always an easy path. Child stars often deal with pressure, criticism, and challenges that most of us can't even imagine. Some make it through gracefully, while others struggle to find their footing. Ricky has had his share of ups and downs, but through it all, he's managed to carve out a life for himself away from the spotlight. And that's why this wedding feels so different. It feels like a real, genuine, happy chapter for him. When he posted those pictures on Instagram, fans couldn't help but notice how authentic it all felt. This wasn't one of those flashy Hollywood weddings where every little detail is perfectly staged for the cameras. Nope. This was simple. Elegant. Intimate. The kind of wedding that makes you smile because it's about love, not headlines. Ricky looked happier than we've seen him in years, and that joy practically jumped off the screen. You could tell these weren't just photos for the fans, they were moments of real happiness that he chose to share. Now, let's take a closer look at the photos. Imagine this, a cozy, intimate setting with soft lighting that gave everything a warm glow. Ricky stood there smiling, looking genuinely at peace, while his bride looked stunning but natural. No over-the-top gowns, no giant staged backdrops, just love, laughter, and two people who clearly wanted to celebrate their commitment to each other. Doesn't that sound refreshing in a world where celebrity weddings can sometimes feel more like fashion shows than actual weddings? Fans sure thought so.